So it will figure out on its own a way to learn. Writers, great writers, use this all the time. I remember reading an excerpt from Stephen King, one of the most successful and prolific writers of our time. You may or may not like Stephen King. I don't think I saw that movie with James Caan and Kathy Bates called Misery, which was taken from a Stephen King novella, I believe. But I've never sat down and read a Stephen King novel. But there are many, many writers who've done this. Hemingway used to do this when he was writing, and hopefully we won't wind up like Hemingway, but more like Stephen King. But they will just take a period of time and write, and it doesn't much matter how they write or what they write. It doesn't much matter the races that we're going to be looking at during this time. What happens if they're long prices or short prices, or you see a series of 15 races in a row that you would have passed, or lots of unknowns. It doesn't matter. Just the process of doing this will do amazing things for your work. Another element to this is don't allow yourself to get interrupted. Now, there are certain interruptions that are, you can't help. Your little doggy gets his foot caught in the door. Of course, go and take care of it. Your better half comes and says, "Honey, how do these jeans look on me?" You better answer. But for the most part, try to set yourself up in an environment where, and it's not a big amount of time, it's just 15 to 20 or 25 minutes, or for those of you who don't have a whole lot of time, even 10 minutes on this procedure will be beneficial. But do what you can not to let yourself get interrupted. And that means this is not something you do with the TV going on in the background or your favorite YouTube video going on. No email checking. If you've got one of those things that bings you all the time when you use email, shut that off. No browsing the internet or going to check the results chart to see if the horse that you think was a tremendous value bet, and you see in the results chart that he finished at the bottom just before the tractors. No going over to, looking at the comments and the charts and all of that. No, this is totally to focus on this procedure. Okay. Another thing that Brain Rules and a lot of other reading that I've done is that our multitasking habit, and some of us wear it as a badge of honor, that, I can do 17 things at once. I can check my project management program and at the same time have a YouTube video going in the background, listening to the, latest happenings in the tech world, and also look at some races, and all of which sitting in front of a television set. I mean, come on. The brain's attention gets scattered, and we start training ourselves to do many things not really well. Remember when I was studying tea ceremony, chado or sado, the Japanese tea ceremony, one of the biggest things in that, it wasn't fancy movements. Those of you who have ever seen this portrayed in popular movies like Shogun, I think one of the Karate Kids had this in it. But for all the appearance of stylistic, and it's not meant for that, one of the biggest lessons that you learn is to put your full attention on doing one thing, whether that thing is taking the powdered tea and putting it into the cup, or carefully pouring the water, or cleaning the top of the tea canister, or wiping the edge of the chawan, the tea bowl. Each and every movement, it's not that it is stylized. It is stylized, but that's not the point of it. The point of it is that it's all designed to bring your attention to this. I mean, we hear all about Zen, and before someone took the title, I really wanted to do something on Zen, the art of handicapping, or it should be really Zen value capping. But it's not esoteric, and I'm one for taking all the trappings away from all that woo-woo garbage, and if you're into that, that's fine. I don't mean to offend anyone here, but at its core, at its element, it all has to do with clear, simple, obvious focus. Even the act of sitting, just sitting, and they call it shikantaza. I mean, just trying to sit and not do anything, just sit. That one act, especially for us in the Western world, and especially in our American culture, it is so difficult, and especially with the attention span that has been, it seems almost deliberately made shorter by things like MTV and YouTube snippets. And you'd be surprised. I mean, people will put up 10-minute videos on YouTube, and statistics show most people watch less than a minute. That's how short our attention span has become. And I think one of the biggest culprits has been, other than mass media and the 5-second cuts that we see on commercials and some popular television shows, but I think one of the culprits is multitasking. So please take this time for yourself and don't multitask. Do your best to get the interruptions out of the way. The other thing is you must take a 5-minute break at the end of your period. So let's say you're going to do, you say, well, 25 minutes is too much for me. I'm going to take 15 minutes, but I'm going to do 2 of those. Fine. You can separate them by as long as you like. You can do one in the morning, one in the evening. But whenever you do it, take 5 minutes and go do something else. And that doesn't mean go look at today's races. Nothing relating to black magic or handicapping or Post Time Daily or any of that. Take a 5-minute break. That is crucial. Personally, I work 25 minutes on and a 5-minute break. Now, I may do several of those back to back, but again, this is something to build up to and not something to go gung-ho upon. Just so we're clear, this is not handicapping or value capping time. It's practice time. This is practice, and this practice has a very specific outcome. And the outcome, I think, will really amaze you if you commit to go through this. So please separate this time from handicapping time. Now, for some of us, our schedules are already full. I mean, we have our work, our creative time, our leisure time, and so it may be a challenge for some of you to create extra time in your day. And the question becomes, can you spare 15 to 30 minutes, and that 30 minutes is a 25-minute on, 5-minute off. Can you spare 15 to 30 minutes of less TV? Now, one thing I've noticed about talking to a lot of horse players over the years, we're not big television watchers. And I guess that's because we have this passion for horse racing and for value capping and for doing that. So we carve out that time. But the statistics, if you look at it, for what the average American does with watching television is just unbelievable.